I mean, you'll have to figure out for yourself what you do. I'm presenting the Southern Hemisphere. This is how I work. This is what I do. And these are the places where you see difference. So, like, puzzling about a Sagittarius versus a Gemini is a funny puzzle. It's a strange puzzle to try and get one's bearings around it, I think. But I get the sense of, for a freedom-loving Gemini, being in the Vatican may not be in his best interest. Even in the last election, he was voted. The last time the Pope changed, he was the second in line. And he's telling everybody, "Don't vote for me. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there." And this time he's in. But I have the sense of he's still smart, proud, and will want to make his mark his own way. It's and hopefully he does it better than Rob Ford.
According to the prophecies of Malachi, he's the last pope. What do you mean he's the last pope?
Not the last pope, but the last pope.
Yeah.
No, this one is.
For every pope, they're the last one. But okay. So next, another chart I chose is Roberta Close, who was the first guy to get a sex change. To be changed to a woman. I thought. Now again, we have December 7th, Sagittarian, versus a Gemini in the Southern Hemisphere.
What year is she born?
62, December 7th. So this was...
I thought there was one before that.
Maybe there was. I just got the information. I said, I'll use this one. I was looking at Southern Hemisphere charts, so okay. And but it's interesting to think, with this one it's a good one, because why would someone want to do that? And the mechanics of what would, like, I feel I'm a woman. I don't want to be. I'm not. I don't identify to being a man. I don't know where I am. I'm not this. And would I actually do it, or go for it? So this puzzle of whether you fit in, whether you don't fit in, whether things working or not, and having a chance to change it, most of us wouldn't. But it has to be. I think there's a sort of interesting drama in the chart. Now, I'm not going to stay on these charts which you're not familiar with. I'm going to just go right to our regular chart forms. But in the Northern Hemisphere chart, what happens is a Sagittarius with an Aries moon, fire. Okay, and masculine signs, still being masculine signs either way, and it would have a Capricorn, would have had the Capricorn Sag with a Capricorn rising, and an Aries moon. The reverse chart has them with, okay, let's just stay on the original one first. I should have, I thought I had the two, no, I don't, okay. Puts his Mars in Aquarius. Now, in the Northern Hemisphere chart, he'll have the Venus-Neptune conjunct in Scorpio. Okay, so you have the Sag, Aries moon, Venus-Neptune in Scorpio. Now, the Venus-Neptune squared by Saturn. So even just in that square, Saturn squaring the Venus Neptune, I'm beautiful. I'm not what I want to be. No one's seeing what I've got. I'm not. It restricts the Venus, and the Neptune's dreaming. Well, I shouldn't have to put up with this restriction. So you see, just even in the Venus Neptune, you have part of the dreaming quality of idealizing to woman. But I think with the Sag, he's going to have the Jupiter rulership, which is third house. Thinking, and the moon, the Venus rulership in the 11th house. So it ties the moon. The moon's tied to in Aries would be in Aries. It would be tied to Mars in the 8th house. So you could say, okay, Mars in the 8th house, you want to get it changed. But this wasn't just I'm just going to get an operation. This is something he would have thought about and wanted to do for a long time, and built up for a long time to try and actually make happen. So with a Capricorn ascendant. Okay, this is an intuitive one, but if you change to Gemini with the Mercury rulership, Gemini, Sun and Mercury in Gemini in the 12th house, I'm not here. Nobody's listening to me. Hello. Thinking on one's own, and I could be different, or I am different. Perhaps it's a little bit more, to me, seems a little more natural than the Sag in the 12th house, which is more multiple choices and multiple options, rather than just one. So you could argue multiple choice. Well, why not? I can change it. But the Gemini curiosity of that being the two sides, I'm this, I'm that, I'm really this side more than that side, is a little bit more of a classic archetype. But that way it would put the Gemini with a Cancer ascendant, very sensitive personality. I'm not fitting in here, so they would identify to the feminine qualities to begin with the Cancer ascendant. And it would put the Moon in Libra, again, Venus ruled. And that Moon in Libra, as opposed to Aries, I want to be beautiful, I want to be listened to, I want to be appreciated, I need these feelings. And I get to say, you have the lonely person with a sensitive personality, and the need to be beautiful and wanting to be appreciated. Now, an interesting thing happens with this Venus-Neptune. Both of them have the Venus-Neptune. It's in the same houses, same aspects, but it moves into Taurus by reversing the signs. The Gemini with the Taurus. So having the Venus-Neptune in Taurus, the beautiful dream about being a woman, I'm beautiful, I love all these things. Wow, to me, I can see that as a much clearer incentive than Venus and Scorpio. I got to get this done. I can't stand being the way I am. I got to change this. Like, it's not something you would do sort of out of anger, more out of a dream. Otherwise, if you thought you didn't have the dream, why would you do? If it's not a dream, if you don't idealize women, why would you want to change yourself to be a woman? So, to me, this puzzle of the Venus-Neptune in Taurus, where it rules, as opposed to Scorpio, where the wants are. Well, it could be argued, well, you wanted to be a woman, that's crazy. That's the Venus and Scorpio. It's a misuse of the Scorpio, like in terms of that rulership. But it was a simple little thing. I thought, oh, look at that. The Venus and Taurus, I know what I like, and I like more of it. I'd like to give more. I want to be more than what I am. I am more this. I am this. What am I doing in this body? And it's still squaring the Saturn. And he still would have had to raise the money to get it done and get the things, the mechanics to get it done. But even the Sun, Mercury, the 12th house, working behind the scenes to make things happen, not possible. So maybe the Sag with an Aries moon, but I think the Sag with the Aries moon is more masculine. It's the fire, more fire than air. It changes it from fire to air. To cerebral rather than active. And it's a subtle little thing, but that's it. To me, it went, oh boy, instead of seeing, here's an angry one, I'm not satisfied with what I got, I'm not where I want to be out of here, I'm doing this. Different strata than thinking, oh, here's someone just idealized women, and with the Moon in Libra, want to be appreciated, and could just see, oh, I want the attention, I want these things. And being the Gemini, well, that's my other side, why wouldn't I go for it? Would have the independence to try. I'll try. It's different, so it's not better than being alone where I am. And it would be interesting to see numbers. I have no numbers of who else has done it or whatever, a bunch of charts or anything, to see if there were a bunch of Geminis that did it and not many Sagittarians. To me, Sagittarians have a stronger social interrelationship and awareness of where everything fits in more. And the consequences of things that even though they could be exploratory, they're also affected by social effects. So maybe as a rebel he could do it, but I think it's more inclined for Gemini, I think independently. Well, why don't I do it? It's just something for me. Why couldn't I do it for myself? But it does put the Sun and Mercury into Gemini in a strong position. Its rulership, even in the 12th house, it's still ruling. Mercury is still ruling his Gemini Sun. And his Mercury, his mind is still thinking clearly and strongly in his Gemini way, in ways that most people wouldn't think. However, that rulership, I suppose, a Sag with the Jupiter in the 3rd house, you can argue it either way. You can go through, you can make the lists on both sides, look around it. Just for me, that Venus-Neptune going from Scorpio to Taurus, and oh, look at that. It just was like this feeling, that made sense. That